Hi there, this is Julian,
And I'm Barrett.
and this is our relationship predictor. I'm going to quickly walk you through what's going on underneath the hood, as our favorite professor might say. If we scroll down a little bit, thank you, Barrett. When this generate graph button is picked, you have just filled out a survey, and unbeknownst to you, you have filled out coefficients into a very, very simple linear differential equations model for love. What's going to happen is our JavaScript behind the scenes is going to scrape that data from the survey, and it's going to put it into an object, which it's then going to send via an AJAX request to graph.php. Graph.php will then look for those coefficients in a SQL table. Those coefficients will uniquely define a graph, and if the code's been run before, the SQL table will store the name of the file name, which has been put on our servers of that graph, send that to PHP, back to JavaScript, and JavaScript updates on the graph underneath here without your Mac ever having to refresh. However, if you've entered coefficients which haven't formally been put into our database, PHP is going to make a call to MATLAB. MATLAB will then run its own function which will save a file with a uniquely defined file name as defined by the coefficients on our server. That then is chmoded by PHP, and the new file name is A, stored in the database so you don't have to run that code again, and B, sent back to JavaScript. JavaScript updates, and boom, we're going to have a relationship trajectory plot. Fingers crossed it works. Let's hand over to you, Barrett.
Great, so I'll fill this out as if we're taking this survey. So this is strictly originally meant to be a relationship survey, like a traditional relationship, but it really can work for any kind of thing, including me and Julian, as listed in the description box, an intense bromance. So first I'll fill out my own tendencies, and I'll respond to the first 3 questions. When I realize I like someone, this realization makes me like them, I'll just put a little less. When I realize someone likes you, that makes you like them a little more, let's say. And once you suspect someone isn't into you, I'll say that makes me like them a little less. This next box is what I'm supposed to project for Julian. Even though he's right here, I'll pretend like he isn't, and I'll just fill it out for him. These might not necessarily be completely accurate, I'm just guessing. And then the last one, current situation. He's definitely really into me, or I'm definitely really into him, and I'm definitely getting a vibe from him. So great, when we press generate, it'll do all the commands that Julian said, and voila, here's a graph. So it says we'll start out right here, here with me liking him a little bit and him liking me a little bit, and go along this graph all the way to the top. For more information on how the graph works and what all the symbols mean, we'll take you to the information page. Here, and as you saw below, here, let's just go back really quickly. Oh man, here, generate graph again. At the bottom it said 2 types that you are, so on the information page it has a better description of what those types are. It also describes a little bit what the X, Y axis means, the blue arrows, etc. And it gives you some sample graphs of what would happen with some descriptions in that case. Alright, great. So that is our website.
Of course, there is one final small feature. If you filled out the table and there's something written in here, there's a very small chance, that chance is very, very real, of
a wonderful surprise.
A wonderful surprise, which we'll try and show for you now. Fingers crossed it works.
Sometimes you have to press it a couple times to get it.
Press it a couple of times.
Oh, we missed it. There we go.
And that's how we'll leave it, fellas.